All right, hey everybody, this is Mike from thesocialcampus.com, and real quickly, you see the title of this video is How to Make It Big in Network Marketing. Now, the reason I'm making this video is not to, drive you to some sort of business opportunity or some sort of company I work for. This doesn't matter what company you work for. I promise you that this method will help you find success because it's helped me and it's also helped many others. And as I used to previously be in network marketing, thesocialcampus.com is here to provide you with some sort of value to help you in making it big or making some sort of substantial income in network marketing. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to go over a couple topics before I get into this tool that I'm about to show you that will extremely help you with organization and really capturing a list to, share whatever sort of value or product or service that you may have with your company. So the biggest thing that a lot of marketers, whether it's internet marketing or network marketing, whatever it may be, that they do not know is that the elite marketers at the top level, their biggest possession, their most important possession that they own is their list, guys. So what I'm going to cover is how do you build a list? How do you keep track of it? How is it organized? Because if you want to be at a level where you're making a 6 or 7 figure income, you've got to understand that businesses outside of marketing, people that are making, $100,000 to $500,000 a year, they're not just doing it with their cell phone and their computer, okay? There is a big tool behind that, and most of these people use tools such as offices and desks and filing cabinets and all these things. So you cannot hop into network marketing without any sort of organization and think that you'll be able to make, not just make it big, but make some money, because it's really difficult. It is a hard industry. And depending on what company you're in, it's very difficult to convince or persuade somebody to purchase things from you, especially if you don't know them. So I'm going to cover how organization and having a list are extremely important. So I'm going to explain to you guys what the most common reason for quitting network marketing is, and it's because you don't find results. And that is why people quit, that is why people give up on you, and that is why you give up on really making it big or making a lot of money, because it takes consistency and it does take some time. So the tool that I'm about to show you is really going to, ease your mind when it comes to what have I jumped into. Maybe you're 6 months in, maybe you're 10 years in, maybe today's your first day. Okay, either way, I promise you this tool will help you find success in network marketing. And, this is the tool by itself that has allowed me to jump into a new company even after having a little bit of network marketing experience and creating almost $6,000 in my first 30 days. And so you have the potential to do the same exact thing. So the biggest part of network marketing is the importance of a system. You need to have a system that anybody can jump in and follow, and this is able to provide that. And like I said, this has allowed not just me, but a lot of others to make a substantial amount of income in a short amount of time, all because of organization. So let's just jump right into it. What you see here on the screen is a tool called Trello, okay? Now you can download this and use this from Trello.com. And what this is going to let you do is organize your list. So what I'm going to do is simply explain the 5 main categories of lists that you're going to have, okay? Now, the average network marketer is probably looking at a list in the beginning of maybe 50 to 100, 200 people at most. More seasoned veteran marketers are looking at lists of thousands, okay? Now, your goal is how do you turn those couple, 50 or 100 people into thousands of people for a long-term career in marketing? Now, Trello is a good tool to get on the start of that. Now, this especially works well with people that are selling products, okay? People that need to be followed up with, health products, lotions, super juices, whatever you want to call it. This works great for companies like that. Now, in the beginning, you're looking at your invitation. You're looking at your exposure, which is explaining your opportunity. You're looking at following up with those prospects that have been invited and exposed to what you're providing. And then also you need to close the sale. That's the biggest important part of the entire business. If you're not closing your sale, the customer doesn't get what they want and you're not getting paid. So I'm going to go through those different areas and how to track your prospects through the process all the way to the close, and then how to train them to do the same thing or how to follow up with them as a customer. So you have 2 different aspects of network marketing. You have your customers and you have your distributors. This is basically focused on how to recruit and how to build a business, and then how to go and attack the customer aspect of your business. So we're going to go ahead and look right here at this invite board over here on the left side of the screen. At the top, you'll see how I've edited this to say network marketing company. You can go ahead and create an account with Trello.com and you can create a board. This entire screen that you see here is called a board. At the top left, network marketing company, you'll put in your own particular company. And then here you have your lists. Now, I look at these separate lists as almost, different folders. Imagine having 5 different folders laid out in front of you, and each one was labeled 5 different things. So here you have invite, expose, follow up, close, and then you have your training folder, which is last, and I'll go over that before the video ends. Now, for the first folder, you see that I have 4 prospects within this folder. Consider those almost like index cards for each particular person. Now, if I click on this first one here, this is a person named Matt. Now, these are all made up people that I just created for different scenarios throughout your marketing experience that you're going to run into. So this guy's named Matt Prospect. I put a little description of him here. You can edit the description on this particular card by clicking edit and typing in whatever you know about this person. This is particularly important because you want to build a relationship with people that you're trying to sell or close or bring as a customer into your business. So I put a little bit of information about Matt here. He's a construction worker. He's 22. He's tired of his job. He lives alone, and him and I went to high school together. He's a very hard worker. Okay. Now, like I said, this is all made up, but this is the description that I put for Matt. Now, the next thing that Trello provides, which is awesome, is a prospect checklist. That's what I labeled it. So this is a checklist where you can add as many checks as you want, and you can check them off as you go through the process. So the first one in the invitation process is, where do we start? With an invite. You need to send this person an invite, whether it's over the phone, whether it's over Facebook. You guys understand that to be the most valuable is normally face-to-face or through, a verbal communication. So that's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. Most marketers in the beginning are not comfortable with speaking on the phone, but you need to work up to that point. So invite this person using all kinds of different techniques. If I were to send you a video, would you have the time to check it out? Could I count on you to watch this video for me? You want to connect the solution to this person's problem. So if this person is working construction, he's tired of his job, but he's a hard worker, plus I have somewhat of a relationship built with this person from going to school with him, I'm sure I can find a comfortable way to invite him to hear about my opportunity. So, for example, with our first prospect, let's say that we invite Matt to hear about such and such company. I'm going to go ahead and check off the invite, okay? Now I'm going to write that I spoke to him on such and such date. So today is January 16th. Spoke to Matt January 16th. Interested, wants to hear more. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add that comment in my activity, and it tells me when I posted it. So here it says just now. So if I check back on this in a week, it'll say that I put this comment on this card a week ago, and I'll remember where I left off with Matt. Okay, so now I can exit out of this card. Well, actually, first I'll show you one more thing. So this is the most important part of it, really, is something that we'll get to in the follow-up, but I want to show you this now that I have the card up, is you have labels for every single person. So what I use them for is to track how interested they are. So I have very interested, interested in yellow, not sure in orange, difficult in red, not interested in purple, and waiting on funds, which plenty of people are waiting on the money to get started with stuff like this, and I have that in blue. So I'll go ahead and I'm not going to select anything for that right now because we don't know yet. All right, so I'm going to exit out of this card, and I've got this updated. Now, if Matt told me that he's going to watch the video tonight when he gets off work, I'm going to go ahead and move him into the exposure folder, okay? In the exposure folder, this means that I have an exposure scheduled with him. My biggest advice is to schedule this in your phone, in your iPhone or your Droid, whatever you have, and put it in your calendar so that you have an alert that goes off on your phone maybe an hour or 30 minutes before your prospect is going to watch the video or hop on a webinar or come to your home event or visit your website, okay? Now, the reason why is because you want to confirm with them that they're going to be able to make it, that they're going to, attend your event or webinar. And what you can do is build it very exclusively, which is a huge part of marketing. You want to be exclusive and say, hey, there's a limited amount of spots or seats, or hey, can I count on you to be here? It's not my house. There's limited parking. The webinar is only for 40 people. There's all kinds of different things that you can use to make that person feel special, along with including the solution to their problem. So here I have Matt. He's a hard worker, hates his job. He told me that he'd watch it when he got off tonight at work. So I'm going to put him in the exposed folder, and then when I get an alert on my phone 30 minutes before he's able to watch it, I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, Matt, can I count on you to get on that webinar that I asked you to hop onto? Or can I count on you to really watch this video and pay attention for the next hour like you said you would do for me? And when they confirm that, you know that they're going to do it. And you can send them a text or a phone call, whatever, when they get started and say, hey, so I know you said you're going to watch this video. If I follow up with you in an hour, you would have seen the video, correct? And they'll say, yes or no, I have to get back to you, or this and that. So what you're going to do is reschedule if they have to bail, or you're going to move on to the next step. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and assume that Matt watched the video because he said he would. So now, while he's watching the video, I'm going to go ahead and move him to the follow-up folder, okay? And I'm going to schedule when I'm going to follow up with him. So if I'm going to follow up with him an hour after he said he would watch the video, hopefully it's done, or an hour after the home event, or an hour after a webinar, or a three-way phone call or conference call or recording, anything. You guys are familiar with network marketing, and if you're not, you'll learn this stuff. So I need to follow up with Matt. So let's say that, I give him a call when the video is supposed to be done. He tells me, hey man, I'm really excited. I'm kind of confused. I have some questions. I want to talk more, but I'm tired. I got to get up at 5 a.m. for my construction job. Let's talk tomorrow. So I say, awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Matt's card here and say that he has been exposed. I'm going to check that off on the prospect checklist. It says he's 50% done, and I know that he's interested. So I'm going to go ahead and hit very interested. All right. I'm going to close out of that. I'm going to put an activity. So now Matt has watched the video and he's interested. It's going to keep track of what I'm doing here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this card. And now I have a chance to follow up with him tomorrow. So the next day, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get up, I'm going to go for a run, I'm going to get my workout in, and then afterwards, you're going to come to your board, to your Trello board, and say, what do I need to do? Well, if the invite was the first day and your exposure was the second day, and now you're supposed to follow up with your prospect, you can now go into your card and track what you guys have been talking about. Because if you haven't experienced this yet, you will get very discombobulated with network marketing because you're talking to a lot of different people on a lot of different platforms, maybe Snapchat, maybe Twitter, Facebook, all these different things through email or texting or phone calls and voicemails. There's so many things to keep track of, and it's very, very difficult, but Trello makes it very easy. So you can follow up with Matt and actually know what you guys have spoken about, where he is in the sign-up process, and what maybe questions he had or what difficulty that he's having understanding and stuff like that. And this is a very great way to keep track of it. So I'm going to go ahead and follow up with Matt. So I give him a call, or we meet for lunch, or anything like this. And again, schedule it in your phone so that you have an alert that goes off an hour to a half hour before these things happen, so that you can prepare, you can pull up your card and remember who this person is, remember what you last talked about, remember that he saw the video, so that you're not asking dumb questions that you've already asked, okay? Or asking him to watch a video when he's already done it, because I promise you it will happen. So I go ahead and I follow up with Matt. I answer his questions about, let's say, my company's compensation plan, our products, whatever value we have to provide. I connect him with my upline or third-person credibility, something like that. And let's say he's really, really interested. Now, the last thing that you need to do at the end of your follow-up is you need to ask for the sale. And then I'm going to explain why. You need to get your confidence up. Your posture speaks about who you are. So be confident, have the right attitude, mentally be prepared that this is going to work and that your sale is going to happen, and ask them for the sale. Ask them when they want to get started, when they want to purchase your product, why they want to purchase your product. And the reason why is because if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So it's very important that you ask these questions. So I'm going to go ahead and check off that I asked for the sale. And let's say that he said that he told me he's going to get started on Friday when he gets his paycheck, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and say that, I asked him for the sale. Let's say he gets paid. He gets paid Friday and he'll get started. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that comment. And of course, you guys can add a lot more detail to this kind of stuff, but I'm making it short for the sake of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and put this info in and say he gets paid Friday. So let's say today's Friday. He's in my close folder now, okay? And now we have a chance to go ahead and close him. And so what we're going to do is we're going to open up this folder, and we're going to remember all the reasons of why he wanted to get started, why we're going to bring this solution to Matt, to my prospect, and show him how to make this business work for him. So I'm going to go ahead and when I close him, I'm going to talk to him about his job, how this can possibly be an avenue to get him out of his job. Talk to him about who I am and how we could work together because we already have a relationship from going to school together. He's a hard worker. It's going to happen. He said that he wanted to do this, and I can use these comments and activity that I've added in here to speak to him. This is a very good tool to pull up while you're on the phone or while you're emailing or even before you go to meet with this person, in person. So I'm going to go ahead and say that he was closed, he got signed up. Don't we all wish that it would happen this easy, but it doesn't. But this is a perfect example of how to use Trello and how it will work out for you if you do these things correct and stay consistent. So let's say that he told me, he got his paycheck, he's ready to get started, he loves the company, he loves the product or service, and that he's ready to get going. So we have now set a close date. I'm going to go ahead and put that activity in here and say close date. For example, we'll just say January 22nd or something like that. So that way I can do that. Again, set it in your phone. That's one of the biggest parts is actually syncing these different things here. And I'll show you some more tricks on that after we're done explaining how to use Trello. So I'm going to go ahead and close out this card, and he's in my close folder. Now, from the invite to the close, you must understand that that is just the beginning. Getting your prospect to say yes is almost nothing. The real work starts after that person has gotten started. Now, if this is a customer of your product, it's much easier. It's much simpler to just follow up with a customer, ask them how they like the product, and hopefully they'll order again or get on your company's monthly auto delivery or something like that. Now, if you're recruiting into your team for somebody to build a business and you're building an organization, now the most important part of this is training. So this last folder here is the training folder, and I'm going to go ahead and move Matt into training. Now, there's a lot of different training for a lot of different companies, so it's difficult to kind of pinpoint exactly what you would need to do here, but hopefully your own company will have their own system of how to actually train someone to do this correctly. Trello is used to get them through the invite process and get them started, and then once they're started with whatever company you may be with, the process gets a lot simpler. But for example, here are some ideas. You do not want this person to leave your training folder until they, possibly get on your free product program for your company. If you have 3 customers, then you have your free product. So you want to help that person be able to do that. You want to help them rank advance or move up in your company. You also want to help them get their first sale or, recruit their first team member. You want to help them establish success in your company because guess what? If this person accomplishes those 3 things, you can then take them out of the training folder and you can archive their little card and not worry about them anymore because guess what? You've built a relationship with them. You've helped them find success in your company. They've recruited a team member and they have, somebody to work with, and they're getting their free auto delivery or free product or free, customer campaign that your company may provide. They're not going to quit. They're not going to leave you. So that would be the example of a perfect prospect and everything working out great. So I'm going to run through the next ones really quickly. That was just the basics of how Trello works and how you're going to find a lot of success with it. So let's say we have somebody else here. This is Kate. She's a nursing student at 19. She goes to college, works part-time at a restaurant, lives at home with her parents, and her dog recently passed away. You want to include as much information about these people on these cards as possible because you want to know who you're talking to. The building relationship part of this business is more important than anything. So for example, I'm not going to go through all this stuff again, but let's say that, she's not sure if she's interested. We're going to go ahead and move her to the exposure. After she sees the video and sees that, it makes a little bit more sense, we can go ahead and change it to that she's interested, add a little comment about, maybe she has some questions, something like that. We'll go ahead and add that. Let's say, she's been invited, she's seen the video or whatever, she's came to your home event and heard your upline or sponsor speak and explain the business. You ask her for the sale and she says, I don't know, I'll get back to you. Okay, maybe this person sits in your follow-up folder for a month or so. But here's the biggest and most important part is that they're not going anywhere. How many times do you lose a text message or lose an email that you can't go back and find, or you try to keep track of things on paper and you lose your notebook? This is perfect, guys, because you have Trello that you can just log into and you find your prospects and where they are in your system, and they never disappear. They don't just vanish. You have everybody here and you know when to go and follow up with them. So again, let's go to our next prospect. This guy's a guy named Bill. He's a little bit older, and guess what? He's already found success in network marketing. And for any of you who are involved with this industry, maybe it's a little bit difficult to get somebody to look at your new opportunity or something like that. And that's where your confidence comes into play and how much do you believe in your company. Now, The next step with this is the invite is going to be the toughest thing with people like this. You want to keep track of them. Maybe they're interested, maybe you're not sure, maybe they're not interested at all. So, they're not interested in hearing about anything new. You want to go with the indirect approach, saying, well, hey, I appreciate your experience. I really look up to you. I'd love to get your opinion. And that's how you can get them to actually watch your video or hear about your company, is by showing them that you value them and that you appreciate them and trying to get some advice on what they have to say about your company. So, if they agree to take a look at what you have to offer or your website, something like that, you can go ahead and check off expose and that it's scheduled. Go ahead and put the information about what they do or what they have to say, and we can go ahead and move them to the follow-up folder as well. These people are normally, stuck in their company. They believe in what they're doing, unless they don't, and that could be great because you can go ahead and move them to the close folder and, sell them on your opportunity or your product or something like that. Or if it's a service that actually helps network marketers, that's much easier to do. It depends on your niche and your audience that you're targeting. Now, for our last example, is the most common one that we all deal with, is inviting people and then they bail on you. They don't show up for the phone call. They ignore your text messages, something like that. And this is the perfect example for that. And I'm going to run over that really quickly. So this is Jessie, my prospect. Let's say that she's a hairstylist. She's 26 years old. She's looking for some extra income. She's very skeptical about network marketing. She's never heard about it, doesn't know anybody that's in it, has never seen success with it, and she has no experience, right? So the invite can be pretty simple for people like this, but they're not going to understand it. They're going to get confused. They're used to working a 9-to-5 job, and they're not really going to know where to go. So you need to guide these people to the right thing, and you don't need to argue with them or prove them that they're wrong. Instead of coming at these people with your opportunity, you need to step on the same side and say, hey, I completely understand where you're coming from. I can relate to you. This is what resonated with me. For anybody that's familiar with the feel, felt, found, you can use this for someone like this, and explain to them how you got started in network marketing and why you're comfortable with it now and how you found the success or the success that you're going to have and that you want them to be a part of it. So let's say that, they say that they'll go ahead and they'll watch your video or they'll listen to your phone call or your webinar. So you're going to go ahead and put them in your expose folder, schedule it in your phone, and then what happens? They bail on you, okay? So let's say this person bails on you. You can go ahead and, wait a couple of days, try to follow up with them. If they ignore your text messages, then guess what, guys? They're going to forget about it for a couple of days, and you need to do the invite process again. So we're going to move them backwards into the invite and so on and so forth. And these people are going to move back and forth depending on what level they are in your invite process. So that kind of covers basically how Trello works. What I'm going to do is basically show you guys real quickly a couple things that are going to assist you with this method as well. And what that's going to do is show you how to actually use Trello everywhere you go, and you're not going to lose it. It doesn't matter if you're on a flight or in another country or in another state. There's lots of ways to keep this. So Trello is a web browser-based program, and all you need to do is go to Trello.com and create an account. Now, also what I've done is I downloaded it on my MacBook. I believe the app was $1 or $2, and I have it right here. And now this that you see right here is my actual list. Now, there's a lot of people in this list, and I'm not going to leave it up for too long, but this actually is the exact list that I use to help me create almost $5,000 in my first 30 days of network marketing with a new company. I did have experience already, but I jumped into something new. I stayed organized. I used Trello the exact way that I just taught you how to use it, and I was able to generate about $5,000 in 1 month. Now, can that happen for everybody? No. Am I saying it's going to happen for you? Absolutely not. But this is the way it was done. If you stay consistent and you stay on top of your game and you really focus on what you're doing and you stay organized and plug in the info about these people, you're not going to lose them, okay? By staying consistent and following these steps and this actual tutorial on how to use this the correct way, you can download the app on your phone, you can download the app on your MacBook like I have or your PC, and then also using the web browser, you can access it from anywhere. So that is what I had to share with you. This is what's allowed my team, not just me, to create a substantial amount of income, to rank advanced in network marketing, to really fall in love with their team and the people that they're working with. And this is what has led us to having success in network marketing and how you can make it big. So please subscribe to this channel. Please visit thesocialcampus.com and also leave a comment below with any questions or tips or any advice or any feedback that you have on this video. So thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you guys soon.